Let's talk about The Crown, one of those things with its focus on such a recent period of British history. The return of The Crown last night, or in fact yesterday morning, if you wanted to watch it, was one of the most highly anticipated TV events of the year.
Yeah, from Margaret Thatcher's time in power to the start of the relationship between Prince Charles and Diana. Series 4 shines a spotlight on people and events that many of us will remember well.
We're joined now by actors Emma Corrin and Josh O'Connor. Very good morning to you both.
Morning.
Thank you so much for joining us. So I know so many people have been really looking forward to this. Emma, goodness me, did you feel the pressure was on?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, in a big way. But I'm hoping everyone's enjoying it.
I know lots of people would just sat down and watch sort of episode after episode. So Emma, you're too young to remember this. I mean, you know, so where did you even start with Diana? Did you? Because there's so much footage of her, isn't there?
Yeah, and to be honest, yeah, exactly. There is a lot of footage, and I got quite overwhelmed by it, to be honest, because just everywhere you look, there's a documentary, a book, something in the press. So, you know what? I actually kind of really relied on the Crown's research team. They have an amazing research team who go out and basically mine everything for all the information. And they gave me this amazing ring binder, broken into sections which were episode specific. So then if I was, for instance, wanting to learn about the engagement, I could turn to that place in the binder and then there would be everything I need, which was amazing. Yeah.
Okay, that's some serious detail, which, Josh, I'm sure you're aware of already, having worked on The Crown previously. So give us an idea, for those who are maybe coming to this new, where does this new series pick up? Because I know that Emma comes in right from episode 1, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. So last season 3, we had... we had a lot before I came in, but as far as I'm concerned, it starts with, in terms of Charles and Diana's story, Charles is invested as the Prince of Wales, and he meets Camilla Parker Bowles, or Camilla Shand at that point, and he is not allowed, the family don't allow him to marry her. There's some manipulation, and by the end of the series, we all feel very sorry for Prince Charles, and at the beginning of series 4, Camilla's now married, and he meets a very young Diana dressed in a tree costume, which is quite interesting. So you got that to look forward to. So yeah, and then season 4 essentially kind of covers a significant part of the Charles and Diana love story.
And I'm sure both of you were aware that there's going to be so much interest, particularly in this, because I know, Josh, you've been involved in it for a while, but this feels very current for, you know, people who are watching this, a story that they remember well, characters they know well, things, historical events, Emma, they feel that they have, you know, a good grip on, and it is causing quite a stir, isn't it?
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah. So. I mean, I think it's, there's always going to be a fascination in the royals and in royal life, and ultimately, you know, what Peter does so brilliantly is that he takes the kind of the historical facts, you know, the moments in history that you can either remember or you've seen footage of, and then paints in between those punctuation moments, if you will. He paints this fictional version of reality. And it is, you know, it's easy to forget because of those kind of historical moments, but this is a total work of fiction. And I think that's the sort of magic, is that we're interested in imagining what that world might be like behind closed doors. And so I think, yeah, there is a kind of fascination born through just the fact that we are all kind of fascinated by their life and what happens, you know, in the background.
It's really interesting you say that, Josh, because it's a total work of fiction, but then there are these moments, and we just saw the clip, didn't we, of the engagement interview, which, you know, I remember sort of so well. Many viewers will remember that as well. For example, Emma, did you look at that video, for example? Was that one of the ones you did look at? Yeah, absolutely. I remember learning quite late on in our filming process that the Crown has this thing where unless they'll use actual footage, they'll replicate actual footage like that interview if it kind of furthers the narrative of the story that Peter's telling, which I thought was really interesting. And certainly, I think you'd agree that like that interview just says so much about the state of their relationship at that time. And also for me, it was just a masterclass in her mannerisms, because there's so much going on for her at that moment, and everything she's doing with her voice and the way she tilts her head. And yeah, that was complete gold dust for me as an actor. Yeah.
Yeah, it is quite uncanny when you watch the pair of you and Gillian Anderson playing Margaret Thatcher as well. Josh, you sort of answered this because there has been, I think we talked to you about this when the last series came out as well, there is that accusation sometimes that you're sort of, not you, but the programme is sort of financially exploiting the royal family. But you're quite keen, as you have already, to point out that this is, in essence, a work of fiction, isn't it, based on historical fact?
Yeah, I mean, I suppose in the same way as, in the period of kind of, in Shakespeare's period when he was writing his history plays and writing about kings and queens, he was fictionalizing, taking the kind of bare bones of reality and delving into the fiction of it. I feel like, ultimately what The Crown survives on is the understanding that the audience have the intelligence to understand, and the intrigue and the understanding that this is fiction. And it is always tricky, isn't it? That you don't want it to be ruffling feathers, and you don't want it to be, you want to be as clear as possible that this is Peter Morgan's imagination and his world being created. But ultimately, as I said earlier, there's a fascination in the royals, and sometimes people will want to believe that this is what happens. And I think it's just always worth kind of checking in and remembering that we're actors and we're not real, and it's not a real story, and that's quite helpful sometimes.
Thank you for the reminder. Emma, are you watching it? Are you gonna watch the whole? Are you gonna binge watch it, Emma? What are you gonna do?
I haven't actually seen the whole thing. I'm getting increasingly bad at watching myself. I just can't deal with it. But I did watch an episode with my mum yesterday, and that was lovely. I think it's nice if I can share in someone else's joy of it. Yeah.
Oh, it's really good to talk to you both. Thank you very much indeed, Emma Corrin and Josh O'Connor. Thank you both.
And all the best with the rest of it. And Series 4 of The Crown is available to watch on Netflix right now.